Hello, this is Soon Kim from Korea Agency of Education, Promotion and Information Service in Food, Agriculture, Forest and Fisheries. I'm in charge of Agricultural Big Data System and Artificial Intelligence System. It's very good to have this class about smart agriculture in Korea with you. In this class, we will see the definition, technical background, and major policies executed in Korea about smart farm. I hope you to understand current digitalization, intellectualization, and cutting-edge technologies in agriculture and prepare for the post-industrial revolution in this class. In the first part of this session, I will make a definition of smart farm and show historical and technical background of the smart farm. This chapter aims to explain overall background and necessity why smart farm is designed, developed, and how it will be improved. Traditionally, we have many problems in agriculture, such as food shortage, low income, low crop qualities, aging old, and so on. To solve this agricultural problem, information and communication technology is introduced to the farming and used in many aspects in agriculture, such as automatic cultivation, improving farmers' life, improving quality of product, and so on. To understand smart farm and its background, we will explain what a smart farm is, where it is used, how it is used, what benefit to use is, and what will be the future of it. We hope you to understand the objective, current situation, general technology used in a smart farm, and the future of agriculture with ICT. The chapter objectives are as follows. You will be able to understand the background and the necessity of smart farm, to make a definition of smart farm in agriculture and information and communication technology, to understand usage and profit to use smart farm, to make knowledge on ICT, such as Internet of Things, Big Data, and Artificial Intelligence in agriculture. The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations estimated the population of the world will be around 10 billion by 2050. Now, the starving and the malnourished is around 2 billion in the world. FAO estimated that the world food production needs to be increased more than 50% by 2050. But there are many obstacles to get this food production increasement. We have low productivity, aging old, low income, climate change, water shortage, lack of agricultural land, crop damage from harmful insects and disease, and so on. So we are trying to find a new solution to solve these problems. About the future agriculture, farmers has many expectations. In the analysis of interviews in Korea, the major requirements of farmers are to make a gross output, good quality, and high income, to be worthwhile, to do less labor and spend low cost, to live in clean environment, to have plan for the future, and so on. In these requirements, some requirements are related to the information and communication technology. For example, to make gross output, good quality, and high income, we need to use ICT to increase yields and output, to monitor status of crop, and to check market situation. To do less labor and spend low cost, we need to monitor farm remotely, control remotely, and grow crops automatically. To have a plan for the future, we need to try to adopt new technology, to use and analyze big data, and to develop new artificial intelligence model. So to prepare for the future agriculture, we need to analyze farmers' requirements and find solutions with new information and communication technology and traditional agriculture. Currently, new information and communication technologies are widely used and popular and effective to solve current problems. In the agriculture area, it is also true. To meet farmers' requirements above, we adopt information and communication technology in agriculture, and that is smart farm we called. The smart farm is farm that combines agriculture with ICT solution to improve productivity. Smart farm is a technical solution that aims to create high added value by integrating existing agricultural technology with the cutting-edge ICT solutions. The advantages of the smart farm is its direct contribution to promote productivity, labor reduction, and convenience. This smart farm increases farm income and promotion of relevant industries too. We can develop not only agriculture, but also material industries and system industries all together. So we hope smart farm a key solution for future agriculture. Let's check the definition of the smart farm. Korea Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs made definition of smart farm as remotely and automatically control and manage the cultivation environment of crops and livestock via smartphone and computer by incorporating information and communication technology into greenhouse and sheds. In the definition, the word smart is a combination of digitalized and intelligent, just like smartphone, smartwatch, and smart TV. So the smart farm is new facility and technology to advance farm digitalized and intelligent. With a smart farm, we can use to check and monitor status of farm, to alarm emergency to the farmer, to guide with advanced farming methods, and to apply new agricultural artificial intelligence solutions in the future. Smart farm is first introduced in the facility horticulture. We added many sensors and controllers in the facility and get good results of improving cultivation and output. Now, we try to apply smart farm in livestock, indoor and outdoor farms, fish farms, and so on. We try to dispose in smart farm and developed many smart farm services. Among those agricultural services, remote monitoring and remote management service is mostly used and popular. Now complex farming services are introduced and started to be used. Nowadays, data and AI are most popular, and data-based agricultural services and data-based disease-making support system are also appeared and used. There are many smart farm service vendors in Korea and many advanced nations in agriculture. We use products from Dutch companies such as Priva, Hogendoren, and Ultimax. And we also developed Korean agriculture companies such as Wusong High-Tech, Sinan A-Tech, Green Labs, and so on. These companies are originated from equipment-oriented companies or service-oriented companies, but now they provide both services at the same time. In Korea, government agencies and public institutions help farmers to use new agricultural services and industries to adopt new smart farm technologies. Smart farm was introduced and developing very fast. We made a group of smart farm in 3 generations. The first generation of smart farm is deployed and used in the field right now. The example of the first generation smart farm is the farm controlled by the smartphone. Its main functions are remote management, remote control, and automatic control of farm. The second generation of smart farm is now deploying, and farmers are considered to use. The features of second generation of smart farm is to collect big data of environment and growth of crops, and to use them for precise control of farm to increase productivity. The third generation of smart farm is being developed in the research center, and some services are now introduced. They use communication and big data technology, and use artificial intelligence and robot technology too. As the third generation of smart farm technology is developed, intelligent farming robots will appear to increase quality of life for farmers. To adopt big data and artificial intelligence in smart farm, we need smart farm platform for agricultural big data and AI. The smart farm platform and the smart farm ecosystem is a high cutting-edge platform using Internet of Things, big data, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and web and mobile service technologies. To generate and manage sensors and controller data, we use IoT technology. To manage and use big data from many smart farms, we use big data technology. To make a useful agriculture service model, we use AI technology. To make agriculture service, we use web and mobile technology. The data collected and managed in the smart farm are environment data, control data, growth data, cultivation data, facility data, and organization data. The environment data are indoor and outdoor environment data, such as temperature, CO2, humidity, wind, soil, EC2, pH, and so on. The control data is data controlled by the farmer and control program. They are data of slide and loop window, screen, irrigation, ventilation, airflow fan, fertilizer, and so on. The growth data is data such as color or size of leaf and fruit, attribute of stem and root, and so on. The cultivation data is data on managing plant, planting density, defoliation, managing density of fruits, and so on. Facility data is data of type of farms, device such as sensors and controller, its vendor, model, position of installation, and so on. Organization is data about farm and farmers. In the smart farm, those data are created, and they are collected and managed in the smart farm system. In Korea, smart farm is deployed and used for several years, and there are many analyses on the result of the smart farm. The analysis of effects of smart farm indicate that the production amount is increased by 30%, and production per capita is increased by 36.9%. The employment and labor costs are decreased by 8.6%. The farmers to use smart farm are satisfied with it and have intention to expand facilities. In some detailed analysis, yield, incoming, and quality are increased, and labor, cost, disease, and pest are decreased. We have another analysis on smart farm. We analyze the ROI to introduce smart farm. In the analysis, the ROIs in the facility horticulture are mostly over 100%. The ROIs about strawberry is over 290%. That's why strawberry is so popular to be grown in smart farm. The ROIs in the outdoor and the livestock are mostly over 100%. So the investment to the smart farm is very effective and reasonable. In this session, we will explain dispersion policy of smart farm and various supporting policies in Korea. In this chapter, we will explain historical and political actions to introduce and dispersion smart farm in Korea. We will describe policies to dispersion smart farm in Korea for young startup farmers and describe policies to encourage forward and backward industries to be developed. We will introduce Smart Farm Startup Incubation System for use and Smart Farm Innovation Valley, which is complex center for agricultural development. The Smart Farm Innovation Valley is a complex center for training, education, test, and experiment to generate synergy between farmer, company, and research institutions. We also explain standards related to the smart farm to be used commonly in agriculture and ICT as a key component to develop smart farm. The chapter objectives are as follows. You will be able to know history of development in agriculture in Korea, to understand policies executed before and detailed policies executing now in Korea, to make a knowledge on Smart Farm Startup Incubation System for use and Smart Farm Innovation Valley, and to understand standards to be defined and used in the smart farm. Smart farm in Korea started many years ago, and now many policies to dispersion and advanced smart farm. Greenhouses for agriculture were built and used to grow flower and vegetables around 1968. Farmers built and used the greenhouse with vinyl house installation supporting business. In 2007, there were major events between Korea and other countries, such as Korean-American FTA. FTA made an effect of life for farmers and agriculture industries, so government made some policy to modernize all the greenhouse facilities. Government supported 500 billion won for 10 years to enhance greenhouse, to add sensors and controllers in the greenhouse, to help efficient farm management. In 2009, to utilize energy in agriculture division, government made agricultural energy utilization business. With this business, devices in smart farm such as multi-cover curtain, heater, cooler are supported and advanced. From 2004 to 2009, Ministry of Science and ICT run UIT business to enhance IT-related business and develop the 25 agriculture model. This business was continued by Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs to create more agriculture models. From 2017, government started smart farm dispersion policy. In this policy, dispersion of smart farm, ecosystem for use startup, and the smart farm innovation valley was emphasized. Smart farm are widely built and run in Korea. The size and number of smart farm was increased more than 100 times in recent 10 years. There were many policies to develop and dispersion smart farm in Korea. This table shows the policies related to smart farm from 2015. There were several policies of smart farm integrated infrastructure, smart farm dispersion, smart farm pilot complex, and smart farm support business. In the policy of smart farm integrated infrastructure, there are supporting business for startup incubation center, rental farms, and test complex. In the policy of smart farm dispersion, there are business for smart farm conversions and dispersion. fruit production and distribution, modernizing cow facility, base construction of horticulture. In smart farm test parlor complex, outdoor farms are selected for improvement. There are clear vision, goal, strategy of smart farm disposal method in Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs. The vision of MARPA of smart farm disposal method is future of innovative farming developed in the smart farm. The goal of this smart farm disposal method is first to distribute the smart farm, and second, to build 4 smart farm innovation valleys, which is smart farm integrated infrastructure. To dispose of smart farms in Korea, several tasks are executing now. The construction of integrated and high-tech agricultural complexes, establishment of vertical farm, demonstration of smart farm for upland crops, expansion of smart farm of fund of NH, which is Korean Agricultural Bank, ease of burden of farm households, and support for facility modernization, step-by-step expansion of livestock, and connecting the modernization project to livestock facilities. There are many financial support to dispersion smart farms. We have government subsidies, government expenditure, financing, local government expenditure. So government policies help farming families to build and run smart farm very much. Government supported consulting to introduce smart farm facilities. This consulting consists of 3 steps. In the pre-introduction stage, professionals check site and the farm and help farmers to make application and submission. In the ongoing introduction, professionals help farmers to make a contract and check steps and progress of installation. In the post-introduction, professionals check status of installation and evaluate the expectation. There is a smart farm startup supporting system for uses. This program aims to join many youths with a variety of background who is not majoring in agriculture. There are well-defined curriculum in the program. There are introduction courses, practice with education courses, practice with management courses, and there is support and benefit after courses. One of the most important actions for dispersion smart farm by MARPA is Smart Farm Innovation Valley, which is smart farm integrated infrastructure. This is integrated infrastructure for generating synergy between farmers, company, and the research institutions. It is composed of incubation center, rental smart farm, empirical complex, and big data center. The objective of Smart Farm Innovation Valley has 3 features. They are improving agricultural manpower, and production, and technology. Now, we build Smart Farm Innovation Valley in 2 sites, which are Kimje and Sangju. And next year, we will build 2 more innovation valleys. This is a blueprint of Smart Farm Innovation Valley. There is incubation center, rental farms, and empirical complex. For each center, Smart Farm is designed to help farmers and agricultural companies to work efficiently. The data in each center is collected, managed, and analyzed in the big data center. With those policies to dispersion smart farm and build smart farm integrated infrastructure, there are also many research and development actions. They are smart farm model development business, smart farm solution development business, smart farm multi-department package innovation technology development business, and so on. To utilize and commercialize R&D of smart farm, standard is very important factor. We make many business to enact and to use standard. With these businesses, 22 types of national standards are enacted and used, and many devices are used with the compatibility. Many standards on device, interface, protocol, and network are also enacted and used. In the standards of smart farm, there are many international standards, which is mainly based in the ITUT, SG13, SG20, and ISO. In the national standard, Korean standards are enacted and used mainly to manage device, sensor, protocol, and interface. There are also many standards on network and system, which are managed in group standard. Nowadays, the COVID crisis, climate change, and change of industrial structure make a severe effect on farmers and rural families. The agriculture also needs the transition to the post-industries. The smart farm is a key factor for this post-industrial industry revolution. To develop agriculture, improve life of farmers, and enhance profit of farming families, we should take 4 steps. The first step is to modernize smart farm facility and promote and dispersion smart farm. The second step is to collect and manage smart farm big data and to build and provide various smart farm data sets. The third step is to develop agricultural AI model using big data. The fourth step is to construct smart farm cloud system to provide agricultural web and mobile service. In this session, we discussed the smart farm definition, background, and policies in Korea to develop and disperse a smart farm. I hope this class helped you to understand smart farm and policies in Korean government executed. And I hope you to understand smart farm is the key factor for the transition for the fourth industry in agriculture and make a better rural life with the smart farm. Thank you very much.